Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a Valentine's tutorial using affordable makeup. I hope you guys like pink, obviously. This is the look I ended up creating for today's tutorial, so if you want to find out how I did this, keep on watching. Okay, to start off with this affordable Valentine's look, I'm going to prime my skin using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is what it looks like. I personally love this primer. It's great for filling in your pores. I'm just going to take that on my finger and just apply it to all over my face. This is very inexpensive. It's a very good face primer. I like to rub it in and then just tap it in to really get that pore filling effect. Okay, so I just primed my eyelids with a little bit of the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And now we're going to get into the eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using some Morphe palettes today. And I know that Morphe isn't drugstore, but it is affordable. So the first Morphe palette that we're going to be using is this. This is the Morphe Jeffree Star palette. I love Morphe shadows. I think that they work so well. And first shade I'm going to take is this shade right here called Lynn. And I'm just going to kind of take that on my Bodyography buffing brush. And I'm just going to focus this and set my eyeshadow primer or concealer, whatever you like to use, with that. Okay, so next, using that same exact shade, we are going to take this shade right here, which is called Back. It's just like this really light pink. Since we're doing a Valentine's look, I really want to do something like soft pink but still wearable. So I'm gonna first put this in my crease. This is gonna be our transition shade. So I'm just layering this up in the crease and then blending it towards my brow. I'm also gonna kind of wing this out here. I just want a nice sharp edge. Okay, so I've got that shade built up. I also zoomed in kind of far, but we're gonna be switching palettes and I'm gonna be using this. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. We're just gonna dip into this palette and I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called Lowly Mama, on that more precise brush. And I'm first gonna start by putting this on the outer corner of the eye, and then once there's less, I'm gonna run it through the crease. Just slowly building this shade up. I don't want it to be super intense. Okay, so now that I've got that shade built up, we're gonna go back. Oh wait, no, we're gonna stay in the Jaclyn palette. And I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called Dance Party. It's a matte kind of purpley pink, but it's got a little bit of glitter in it. And I'm just going to apply that really close to my lash line and start blending up. I'm using kind of this tapered, this is the Luxie 207 medium angle shading, but I like using this when I want super close to my lash line. I want most of that color to be right there. And then I'm just building that up. Okay, and then once you have that laid down, I'm just gonna take that fluffy brush that we were using and just kind of go over that with no additional product. I'm just using the first brush. We're gonna take this shade right here, which is called Empowered. I don't know why I cut. Is that too dark? No, that's not too dark. I'm just gonna take that on my finger and I'm just gonna put this right here. I've never used this shade before. Wow, that's pretty. I'm focusing this in the middle of my eye because I'm gonna go in with a lighter shade. Take that brush that had the Lowly Mama shade on it and just kind of blend that out into the crease a little bit. Now with a brush, I'm gonna take back into the Jeffree Star palette. I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called 2. And I'm just gonna take that on this brush. This is a Moda shader brush. And I'm gonna put this in the very inner portion of my eye, on my lid. I need a different brush for this. Actually, I might just use my finger. So there is the eye look. We'll put mascara on at the end. For foundation, we're going to be using the L'Oreal This is the Infallible Freshwear foundation, sorry. And I'm going to be using the shade 410. This is honestly one of the best foundations. It competes with my high-end foundations, but I love this. This is a little yellow for me right now, but I'm just going to pump that on the back of my hand. And I'm just going to dip directly into my hand onto my sponge. Sorry, I couldn't think. But I'm just going to pounce this in. It's a nice medium buildable, well, I'd say it's a full coverage foundation, but okay, so the next product that we're going to be using, this is a little bit of a cheap product. This is the KKW Beauty Concealer, and I used the e.l.f. concealer in my last video when I did full face of affordable products, but the more that I used that, the more it just started to crease on me, and I have yet to find another like good drugstore concealer. So let me know if you have any suggestions. But yeah, I'm just going to be using this today. I mean, it's $18. It's one of my favorites, so it's not like super expensive in my opinion. So I mean, it's honestly such a good concealer though. So I'm using the shade 1, by the way, and I'm just gonna apply this in all the places that I need to highlight. And this foundation is a little dark for me right now, so I need all the brightness I can get. I'm just gonna blend that out using the same exact sponge. Okay, I truly think that concealer is worth $18 if you're willing to splurge a little bit and get it, because it's so pretty. Like, my under eyes look flawless. Going back to the affordable makeup, I'm going to be using the Fit Me powder to set my face. I do like this because it's a colored powder that's light enough for my skin and it doesn't leave a yellow cast on my face. So I really do like this powder. It lasts all day. I'm just taking this on a Real Techniques velvet powder sponge, and I'm just setting that down. And then I'm gonna take a fluffy brush. This one's from Ulta Beauty, and I'm just going to take that same powder and set the rest of my face. For my brows, I'm just gonna fill them in using the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Mine's in the shade Taupe. And I'm just gonna quickly fill this in. This is one of my favorite brow pencils at the drugstore. That's it for the brows for right now. This one is my good brow, can you tell? It always looks better. And I'm gonna take my powder brush and just like press in all this leftover powder. If you have oily skin, doing this technique will help you significantly. Instead of just brushing the powder away after you're done baking, you can just press it into your skin. I'm going to bronze the skin. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. I use the shade 01 Sunlight. This is honestly one of the best bronzers that I have, high-end and drugstore. I love this bronzer. I'm just gonna take my e.l.f. Total Face Brush, as usual, and I start with pressing motions, and then I work my way from the back of my face towards the front of my face. That way the most product is deposited on the back, and it won't look muddy when you get in closer to your face. But I'm just building this up very slowly. I mean, look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous. I love this bronzer. I also like to put it on my forehead. I'm just kind of tapping it in. I find that when I swirl it on my forehead, it like removes my foundation a little bit, so I'm just tapping this in. And I'm going to take a little down the center of my nose, just kind of warm up the center of my face, and also take it on my jawline. Okay, so next for blush, I actually have 2 blushes that I'm going to be mixing today. The first blush that we're going to be using is this from Colourpop. This is the shade Night Bloom, and it looks very lavender, but I'm going to put a more pink blush on top of it. I just want to have this as a base. I love this blush. It's so pretty. I'm just kind of fake smiling, if you will, and applying this to the apples of my cheeks. I'm using a Moda powder brush. I think it's really nice. You just have to build it up quite a bit. But we are going to be putting a different blush on top. So that is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Dolce Pink. This is where our pink's gonna tie in, but I thought that these two mixed together would be really pretty. I don't like using this on its own because it is so sparkly, so I'm just gonna kind of use it as a blush topper. I mean, look at how shiny my cheek just got. If you want lit from within glow, this blush is for you. I mean, it's stunning. Okay, so I thought that my camera wasn't videoing, so I was doing all this stuff and it just backed up on me, honestly. But yeah, the highlight, the rachhloves Pixi palette, you can buy this at Target, but I'm just gonna take this Sephora brush and dip into this shade right here called Lace. And I already applied some, so I'm just kind of going over it again to show you guys. But this has a really nice pinky undertone that's gonna look really nice with the tones in our eyes. That is so stunning. So I also applied some of the L'Oreal, what is this? This is the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara. I did about 3 coats on the top and about just 1 coat on the bottom. I really do like this mascara. It's newer from them, but I think it's a really, really good one. And then I put some Colourpop clear gel in my brows. They look really, really nice. This is my favorite clear brow gel, by the way. I'm gonna set my face and I'm gonna use this. This is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is really affordable. But I'm just gonna spritz some on here. And then as it's drying, I'm just gonna press everything in with my sponge and lock these brows down. This is a trick that I like to use. Once you've set your face, just take your sponge and pat it over your brows and it literally looks like they're laminated. It's so good. I'm gonna take this. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This is the translucent shade, but I'm just gonna take that on my Real Techniques sponge and just kind of press this into my T-zone just to ensure that this makeup is going to last all day. If you're oily, this Rimmel Stay Matte Powder will honestly be your best friend. For lips, okay. So I'm gonna be using this. This is the NYX what is this, matte lip liner in the shade Natural. It's just like a really nice Your Lips But Better shade, and I think that the pink undertone will match this eye look nicely. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna add the gloss. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brûlée, and I'm just gonna apply this on top of that liner. This is just a nice pinky gloss. Wow, that matches really nicely, doesn't it? Alright guys, that's it for this affordable tutorial for Valentine's Day. I hope that you guys found this helpful, and I hope that you liked the look I created using all affordable makeup. So be sure and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye!